When you're a kindred, you only ever meet at night. Even in the case of those of the older generation, night meetings do become the norm. Nightlife takes on an almost entirely new meaning. However, when you have the chance of a slow, painful death from rays of the sun, sometimes you just have to go with the flow and hope for the best. Sometimes you have to decide which meetings and encounters are more important to attend, in which you must forego, and then you must hope you made the right decision. Episode 10. Planned and Chance Meetings. Hello, Echo. How are we?
I don't know. It's been a while.
It has.
Well, I have a bit of a crew starting to form here, which is nice. I've got plans that are slowly coming together. I guess we're just gonna have to see where life goes.
Indeed. Here is a little update about what has occurred in your haven since we've last met. The next evening, Ro and Charlie had left to go back to visit Serafina because they realized they left without telling anyone where they were going. So Ro was in a tiny bit of trouble, but it's fine. It's all good. That evening, Serafina had actually called and asked for a favor, and that had sparked into you gaining your first progeny. Although she does not wish to have a sire-child relationship with you. She will do what she has to, but at this point in time, she doesn't want anything to do with you because, as she said, I only belong to one person, I will not be chained to another. Corey and Marisol did in fact choose to stay with you, having bought a couch with a pull-out bed for Marisol to sleep on, as well as a Murphy bed for Corey to sleep on, with the help of Candy's money. Which is where we wake up, the evening after you had embraced... You good? Okay. The next evening, or I should say the night after you had embraced Maki. You awoken as the sun sets to the smell of cooked pork and the smell of soft voices coming from the kitchen.
Pull myself up off the bed. Make myself somewhat presentable. Open the bedroom door. And walk out. Take a look and see what's going on.
In the kitchen, it is rather warm and inviting. It looks like Marisol had done some cooking, as Rhonda and Corey are both seated at the kitchen table. Rhonda is sitting eating what looks to be a Cuban sandwich, as Marisol stands behind her, fixing her hair, speaking softly, a brush and spray bottle beside her, as well as a vanilla, those folders you see that often hold papers. Corey is sitting at the table as well, with a notebook in front of her, jotting down some notes as she eats, seemingly finishing up some homework. Second, as I give the updated version of Corey, because I managed to finish them.
If you guys look in the side chat in a moment, you will have an updated version of Corey. One moment.
All right. There we have Corey. who has, thanks to you, been able to have a nice hot shower, and after a few nights is slowly starting to gain some weight again, so they are at a healthier weight.
I'm going to walk over to the table. Just kind of peek over Corey's shoulder, see what they're working on.
It looks like they are currently working on some mathematics. Beside her, you do see there is beside them, you do see a few textbooks, one of them being for their photography, as well as an ASL book.
Take a look over the math I'll make note of the textbooks, but I'll take a look over the math problems. I just kind of lean down for a moment, point at the paper. That one's 5.
Corey, who has slowly gotten used to you just sneaking up behind them, looks at it and says, "It's not 7?
I don't know, I'm just trying to be funny. But, I mean, you do you.
Rhonda tries not to laugh as Marisol finishes their hair, picking up the spray bottle and the comb and bringing it off to the side. Did you sleep well?
I slept. Well is a weird term for sleeping these days. I don't really know if I sleep, all things considered. It's more just, like, blackness? I don't really dream. It's weird.
Marisol calls over her shoulder as she is putting some clean dishes away. Very few kindred actually have dreams when they fall. And you are right, sleep isn't quite the proper term. I've heard it referred to as a slumber.
Either way, least of my worries.
Rhonda perks up. By the way, I finally managed to finish doing that research you wanted me to do.
And?
About the building. It's a lot. Do you want the footnotes?
Okay, so you're gonna have to define a lot.
Well, so you asked me to look into accidents and mysterious deaths that have occurred.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, so if you look at it from like year to year, it's like normal, but if you look at it from like the span of like when the building first broke ground to now, it's a lot.
Interesting.
So, for example, when they first broke ground and she opens up the folder and starts looking through. So basically, like, they had a bunch of accidents. No one died when they were, like, first started building, but, like, there was 2 injured during a cementing accident. Someone actually passed away from passing out. They were drunk. They passed out in, like, the foundation when they first poured the cement, and they died of asphyxiation because the cement hardened around them. And then things got better for a bit. There was a guy with, like, a lumber truck, the, like, Final Destination style. Not pretty. She flips the page. Things got quiet. It was then purchased by a priest named Father... where is it? I had the name. Father James Rowe. Who was the one that actually had it converted into the apartment complexes because he wanted, like, clergy members to have a place to stay. But yeah. Then, after it was purchased, like, 2 years afterwards, a window fell from, like, one of the higher up apartment complexes and split someone in half. Another time, a couple years later, someone fell over the top banister and basically, I mean, this is a bit gruesome, but ping-ponged down to the bottom, where they died of... The official reason was breaking, and their neck was broken, but really their spine was probably broken in several different places. People who were fixing the roof with the shingles, they fell off, but this was also before OSHA and stuff. During the flood in 1915, the people in the basement couldn't get out, so they died. There was a smallpox outbreak. No one died of that, surprisingly. Grandpa was around for that. But there was a family who passed away from TB in the 1980s. They were in the basement. The dad got it, and then the rest of the family got it, and yeah. Those aren't the weird bit, though.
I'm listening.
So, doing some checking, and, well... So from the time that this place was first built to, like, until, like, 10 years ago-ish, because we haven't really had any youngins, as Grandpa calls them, around, 20 children from the ages of 1 month to 3 years old have died. Corey looks up. 20? Yeah, like, it wasn't all the same thing. Most of it was either SIDS, or there was one with shaken baby syndrome. Another fell out the window. Why was a baby out a window? Oh, so this was a thing back in, like, the mid-90s. They had, like, these cages they would put their kids in that were, like, positioned outside windows so the baby could get, like, sunlight and stuff, but apparently it wasn't properly secured, so it fell and, well, the baby died.
What else?
That's it. I mean, there was a case of asbestos in, like, the 1960s that was taken care of. But that's all of the mysterious ones that I could find on public record. There's been, like, 1 or 2 that have died of, like, old age or natural causes, like a heart attack and stuff, but that's pretty much it.
So
Oh wait, there was that guy who hung himself, and she, like, flips over. He died in 2001. His name was Nick Afferman. I couldn't get much on him either because there isn't much to say, but when I tried, like, looking in more to him, I did find that there was, like, a sealed file, apparently. So I think the police were investigating him for something or other, but I don't know for sure. That's all I got.
2001. I'm gonna take a look into things for that, because if that's a sealed file, if he's dead, I wonder what the statute of limitations is on that.
I don't know. I never studied that, really.
Interesting. Okay. Gorgeous work, by the way. Love that. Good job.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that I need to know?
She glances over at Candy, who is currently sitting in the same chair she usually does, before looking at you. So, Grandpa kind of wants to have a word with you about all the comings and goings on here, especially with he finally saw Mom this morning and was really confused, and I said I had to tell him about what's been going on, so he's not exactly happy, but also confused on why Mom is here. So he said when you have a moment to just, like, go over and, like, talk to him, because he's starting to he's asking questions. Especially because, well, she glances at Corey and Marisol. Marisol just looks at her with a raised brow, and Corey kind of shrinks slightly.
I got this, okay? You guys don't worry about that. You continue doing what you're doing.
It is at this point you actually get a text message.
I'll take a look down at the cell phone.
It's from Chris, and he just wrote, "Did you see what Jeremy posted?"
Having looked at that, I will open up Twitter, scroll through, see if I can find his feed, and see what he's posted.
So, surprisingly, he had posted 2 articles within minutes of one another, which, as you know, typically isn't what reporters do. Mm-hmm. But one was an update on the Macy Velour case. Apparently, he got an insider scoop, and it has been ruled that she officially died of an OD. And most likely it was accidental. So, officially, that case has been closed for police intervention. He posted that at about 5 o'clock this morning, so right before anyone had a chance to really do the morning posts and stuff. The second article, on the other hand, is more of a social piece where he wrote how the only reason his first article, his first comment about what was happening got so much traction was because that, unfortunately, in this day and age, people prefer bad news versus good news, and that with the permission of the Velour family as well as his editor, he had posted that tweet in order to show how unfortunate it is in today's society that people gain more traction through bad news and bad wording versus the truth. And there's mixed things about it. Some people questioning if the Velour family actually did approve it. However, there is both written and video evidence that the Velours actually did agree to do this because they don't want others to go through what their daughter did. And there is actually a written piece from Eric stating that this was approved ahead of time before the tweet was released. And it looks like there's a lot of discussion happening about the articles in question.
And I will take the phone, move back to text messages, and just type out CYA ?
What that means for storyteller, because
cover your
acronym's not working. Chris actually replies back, "No, it's legit. Apparently he got permission from Eric and everything."
By the books isn't his style. What's going on?
He sends a shrugging emoji before sending back. I think it's because of what happened with the kid at the healing center. He's trying to be as by the book as possible so he doesn't get canned.
Keep an eye on him. Let me know any other developments.
You get a saluting emoji. And before you have a chance to put your phone away, you actually get another text message from an unknown number.
Take a look at it.
It says, "Hi, it's Emily," with quotation marks. Heard I owe you a favor?
Go takes a moment and then responds, "Yeah, we should talk."
The person sends back another text message. You free in the next hour?
Got something I gotta do, but should be free after that. Want me to keep you updated?
Sure. I'll be at my aunt's place.
Understood. Talk soon. And with
One
that,
thing you did note about the
Go ahead.
textile is, unlike most who do like acronyms and like short messages, whoever is writing this is writing full sentence, proper grammar, capitalize on every right thing. Also, they reply very slowly.
Echo will slip the phone back in the pocket. Just kind of look around. And look over at Rhonda. I'm gonna go have a chat with your grandfather.
Do you want me to come with, or...
What do you think? How do you think I should handle this? You know him better than I do.
Grandpa's always been protective of me and his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since Grandma died last year.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that I've been hanging out with you more, and he was very excited about that because he said, and I quote, "You need more friends." Corey pipes up, "You kind of do. You hang out with a teenager and like a middle-aged woman." Rhonda just looks over at Corey. "Shush! The adults are talking." Rhonda looks back at you. "He likes honesty, but we can't be honest in this case with her," she says, pointing at Candy.
You let me worry about that. I need to know if he's religious.
Religious?
Could be an issue.
Grandma was more of the religious one, and even then she wasn't Catholic.
Okay. So not devout, if at all. Got it. You know him better than I do. What approach do you think I should take?
She looked around at all the people in the room before looking back at you. If anything, he's just curious about what's going on. His journalistic instincts have been sparked, which can be a good or a bad thing, as you know.
I got it. I got an idea. Way we can tackle this.
Okay. He's also been on the phone with my uncle a bit about what's been happening. Apparently my dad called him and stuff, and it's been up and down.
Yeah, I can understand that. Well, I mean, you're welcome to come with me if you want, but honestly, I think I've got this. It's up to you, though. It's your call.
I'll come with.
All right. And Echo will turn around and head towards the door, grab the keys, head towards the door. And
Rhonda follows you.
Over to Frank's apartment.
Rhonda opens the front door. You actually hear, it seems that Frank's on the phone with somebody as she walks in. The apartment beside you is a 2-bedroom apartment. You know this for a fact. It is decorated in a way that you walk in and you can tell grandparents live there. There's antiques on the wall, some older furniture. You walk by the hallway that's just outside the living room, and you actually see a family photo with Frank and his late wife Erin beside one you know is Ben, and the other you don't recognize but can tell there is a family resemblance, where Ben clearly takes more after his father. The other man, who appears to be maybe in the photo, appears to be maybe like 5 to 10 years younger than Ben. He takes more after the mother. He actually has a similar face shape, similar eye color, actually. Both with these very lovely hazel, almost ember eyes that the man seems to have inherited from Erin, and you know that Rhonda once said how she actually inherited her eyes from her grandmother as well. As they walk into the room and see Frank on the phone looking slightly exasperated at the kitchen table. Ron, I know you worry. I'm fine. If you try to put me in a retirement home, I will reveal all your dirty laundry to everybody, young man. I will release the photos of your nudist phase. I don't care if you were only 5. It was hilarious. I'm fine. I have Ronnie, and he looks over. I actually have company. I'm going to let you go, son. Yes, thank you for keeping an eye on Ben. Yeah, okay. Love you too, son. Bye. He hangs up the phone. Ah! It's rare I get company this late.
Good evening, Frank. How are you?
I'm fine. You've been busy?
I have been.
Well, have a seat. Can I get you a coffee? Tea?
I'm good, thank you. Just had a bit of a... full stomach. Just had a decent meal, so...
Is that Marisol woman who moved in with you?
Yeah, she's good cook.
I can tell. I can smell it every night. She keeps offering me food, though, says I'm too skinny.
He
you're
says welcome to come over for a meal if you want some night. She's got absolutely amazing culinary skills.
I might take it up on that offer.
Either that or I'm sure we can do door-to-door service for you, too. I mean, it's not like it's across town or anything.
Fair. Well, have a seat. I'm guessing this isn't just a cordial visit.
I wanted to pop in and see how you were doing. It's been a couple of days since we chatted last.
Mm-hmm. He's just looking straight at you.
Echo's looking straight back, not saying a word.
Rhonda's looking between the two of you and has this look of, oh no, now there's 2 of them!
Echo sits there, not saying a word, just staring.
Rhonda, clearly not comfortable with long silences.
Echo leans over.
I told them how you wanted to talk.
Echo leans over. It's a journalist thing. Don't worry about it. We're gonna see who breaks first.
We're gonna be here all night.
And Echo goes right back to staring.
Oh, God. This is all stream's gonna be now, guys. 2 stubborn journalists having a stare down. One moment. Echo, can you roll me a composure resolve roll? And we will see who has the higher one.
Crap.
Because gosh darn it, we have 2 stubborn journalists going at each other right now.
There's that, and my... How much hunger do I have? 1.
Okay.
That would be 1.
Frank got a 3.
Yeah, of course he did. All right, look. We can do this dance around all night. This stare off all night. We both know you're looking for information, and you decided to go through your granddaughter instead of coming to me and just asking? You know, point blank? And getting to the bottom
Well,
of
I've
things.
tried coming over. Here's the thing. He taps the table. I've tried coming over several times over the past few days. You're always either asleep, or I get turned away by that lovely girl. Lovely they?
Corey?
Yes. They told me today when they got back from school that you were working late again last night.
I'm working night
and
shift.
wouldn't be awake until... I know. I'm wondering why my soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law is currently staying with you after what she did to my granddaughter, and why we aren't putting her in jail right now.
Because I have everything in hand.
Do you now?
I do. Would you like me to prove it?
Before we get to that, I also want to know who exactly Marisol and Corey are. I don't mind you having more people there, however, I know for a fact you only have a 1-bedroom.
Yeah. We're making it work, and I actually wanted to talk to you about that. But we'll get to that in a second, because I have a proposition for you. First, however, yeah, I've got a number of people. I'm working night shift at the moment, which means I can't always be around. I sleep during the day. Marisol is really good at cooking, really good at housekeeping, really good at like keeping people in line. It's kind of her thing, what she does.
Okay.
I brought her in as basically a house manager sort of thing, to oversee things when I can't be there. Make sure
Secretary with extra steps.
Make sure there's food in the fridge, hot meals cooked, make sure the house is kept clean, all of that. Because cramped quarters, as you know, can get really messy really fast. Corey came along with her. Corey and Marisol were both on the street. Corey is in high school and needed stability. So, I offered stability in exchange for good grades and working on their passion, which is photography, which, as you can assume, is going to be absolutely amazing for me. Somebody who specializes in it. The condition I gave was that school comes first. They have to graduate, and they have to get good marks. And believe me when I tell you, if anybody touches that kid, I will be the first down their throat.
Okay.
Your granddaughter needed a friend. Was also an avid follower of mine. So I decided to see what she was made of, decided to see where her skills lie. Turns out she's a really good investigator, looking into records, really good at research. Do you have anything to do with that? Dug up the entire history on this building in a couple of nights.
He blinked slowly looked at Corey. Is that why you wanted to get into the storage units?
You mean Rhonda?
Yeah, he looks at Rhonda. Is that why you wanted to get into the storage units with the files? The city records didn't have detailed ones. I know Grandma liked to keep it and stuff. Grandma had a friggin' journal about every accident that's ever happened for insurance reasons. Yeah, you can blame both me and my late wife for that.
As for your soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law, I am of the opinion that rehabilitation may be needed. While she may not have a heart, the thoughts may have been in the right place if misguided. So, a little bit of a firm hand. We're going to teach her. She's going to help out around here. Give you a hand around the building, so you don't have to rely on just you for all the maintenance tasks anymore. Speaking of which, how's the power working for you?
Well, we finally got an electrician in, as you can see. He gestures to the fact that all the lights have been on. Apparently, they had to redo a bunch of wiring because it kept short-circuiting.
Yep.
Especially when I was doing a viewing for one of the units that came undone. Or came, the couple recently moved out.
Yep.
Lovely woman with a very lovely kid, single mom, just trying to find a spot, and everything started going wrong. And actually, as he's talking about this, and he says, I'm looking to see if I can get it fixed and get her in, one of the lights actually starts to fizzle out, and he looks over like, I just replaced that last week.
Echo's just going to give a small smirk.
Might have to gut this place at this point.
We'll get to that. We'll talk about that shortly.
All right.
A guiding hand for your soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law. And I'm sorry to say, but, a little bit of elbow grease might help there. As for having her well in hand, would you like me to show you?
He looks at you with a raised brow, whereas Rhonda looks absolutely panicked right now as she's looking at you.
Just lean over. It's okay. I got this.
Fine.
All right. Give me one moment.
I'm willing to... All right, fine.
Echo will stand up, walk to the front door, over to the apartment, and call for Candy.
Candy looks over, stands up, walks over.
Come with me.
Corey's watching curiously. Candy follows you without hesitation.
Back into Frank's apartment. Look at Candy. Have a seat on the couch. Remember.
She does so.
You don't speak until you're spoken to.
Frank is looking at you with a very raised up bow, very confused.
It's a little old school and unorthodox, but being treated with a little bit of a stiff hand sometimes will show her what it's like to be under someone's thumb all the time. Candy, why don't you tell Frank here what you did to your child?
She is quiet for less than a second before she starts to retell what she had done. The multivitamins, the antipsychotic homebrew medication that she's been putting in it too, and basically unknowingly to Rhonda administrating this to her for the last almost over a decade now.
And why don't you...
Frank has a very stony expression.
Why don't you tell him how you feel about that?
I just wanted to help.
Yes, but I'm talking about, that mother's love for a child.
I do love her.
But
I don't think in the way she wants.
What are your current tasks in the apartment?
Making sure it stays clean, helping with any maintenance, and footing the bill.
And what do we hope to accomplish with this?
Help build the trust, I believe.
I'll look over at Frank. Echo will look over at Frank, lean up against one of the walls and look over at Frank.
Frank still seems slightly unsure about this. You recognize the expression on his face, a journalist trying to figure out the angles, trying to figure out what is going on. Before he says softly, "The only reason I haven't called the cops on this woman," he says, pointing at Candy, "is because Rhonda asked me not to."
And I appreciate that.
The fact that my son has asked me not to means little, because this girl, he points at Rhonda, is practically my third child.
Understandable. I've become kind of fond of Rhonda myself.
Aside from the fact that she seems to have had a psychotic break, he says, looking at Candy, is there anything else I need to be made aware of?
We're running a business out of my apartment.
I am aware.
With that comes the next discussion that we should probably have. How many units are empty in this building at the moment?
Currently, only one.
Only one.
We have, so as you know, in this apartment complex, there is a total of 7 units. So you have 2 on top, 2 in the middle, 2 on the ground floor, and then you have 1 unit in the basement, and across from that unit, there is a laundry room / large storage area in the basement, where also the boiler and all that stuff is.
Where's the empty unit at?
The empty unit would be on the 2nd floor. It is a 2-bedroom.
And what would you charge for rent for that?
Are you asking to move into it?
I'm asking to expand. To make sure that we have the room, the supplies needed, and the space. Because a 1-bedroom is not enough room for 5 people.
Are 5 people living with you right now? Because I only counted 2, not including you.
Well, I mean, Rhonda's been spending a lot of time over. We've got Marisol, I've
noticed that.
We've got Marisol, we've got Corey. And for all intents and purposes, I counted Rhonda and Candy in among that.
Fair.
Plus myself makes 5.
He thinks it over for a moment, ponders it a long time, looking at you.
Let me paint long term here for you. Let me tell you exactly where I'm planning to go with this. Because we know you care about this building. We know it's your life's work. You've put your blood, sweat, and tears into this building. And it would be a shame if this building at some point... Well, I mean... The reality is you're not going to live forever. And eventually this building will either be sold or fall into disrepair. My long-term goal is to turn this building into my base of operations and get you the help you need to maintain it, maybe affords you the ability to retire and actually enjoy life a little bit instead of just working all the time, despite the fact that we both know you enjoy working. Maybe just take a load off, relax a little bit. And eventually, I want to own every unit in this building or rent it. And just turn this into, again, the base of operations. Being able to give people a place who maybe need just a chance that can also be beneficial for my goals. You wouldn't have to worry about the income or the maintenance costs. And do as you want, whatever the fuck you want. I'm thinking of partnership.
So, for my clarification about this proposal you're doing, where you're essentially admitting to trying to buy my building slowly but surely.
Not buy it, only if you want to sell. I'm willing to work under your terms.
Because it's going to Rhonda when I die.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. I'm willing to work under your terms. She and I will make sure the building's taken care of.
Would you just want the 2-bedroom, or are you also keeping the 1-bedroom as well?
I would like to keep both.
Well, I have your current rent at $1,000 a month for your 1-bedroom. That's with all your utilities. The 2-bedroom, I was going to do 1,600. No, wait. Where's that? I had it in my notebook. He brings it out and says, because costs of living, my God, back in my day. And Rhonda's like, no, Grandpa, not the back in your day speeches. Please, anything but the back in your day speeches.
The economy has gone to absolute shit. We both know this, and I'm thinking you're starting to realize that now. That's the other kicker.
Well, yeah.
It's not easy to survive.
The building's paid off.
That's good. It's not easy to survive at the moment.
Which is why I'm typically trying to do it for lower income people. He says, flipping through the pages, here it is. I was going to do it for $1,300 a month. All-inclusive. However, you mentioned that Candy, he points at the woman at his ex-daughter-in-law, would help with maintenance, as well as Marisol would assist with the day-to-day things. Is that just for your units, or is that for the building in a whole?
We can negotiate if you'd like.
Okay. Here's my proposal. If Marisol is willing to assist with the day-to-day operations, and I mean like if they're good with like computers, the e-transfers, because I try to do checks, but everyone's like, oh no, I want to do e-transfers, pay by rent and bill. No. It's like, I don't get it. If they're able to help and Candy stays true to their word and doesn't tick me the fuck off, this is the first time you've ever heard him swear, I will rent you both units for $1,800. I would be taking it at a loss, but I do believe in what you're trying to do, and some extra help around here wouldn't go amiss.
Okay. So, taking it at a loss, that I've got a problem with. I'm looking for
Echo, you're living page.
Yep, I understand. I have some cash put away. Paycheck to paycheck is just for the day-to-day stuff. I'm looking for break even. Maybe turn a bit of a profit for you.
$2,150
for both? Done. Every month.
All right. All right, then.
Now that that's settled...
I'll have...
Sorry, you'll have...
I'll have Rhonda over here write up the new lease for you. Rhonda looks over. You write the leases. If you're going to be taking over for me one day, you have to start writing leases. Besides, you're the one that said my eyesight is getting so bad and I'm getting so old. And Rhonda just slowly puts her hands
Welcome to building...
Hands to her face, just like...
Echo leans over to Rhonda. Welcome to building management, my dear. Aren't you glad you got into this?
Oh, love it. I love it so much. Thank you, Echo, for putting me through this. I love you oh so much.
You'll thank me later. For the moment, you can just write the leases out to Echo Vision.
All right, I'll do that. You will need to pay... She looks at her grandfather. First and last, he waves a hand. Now, I have a feeling they're not going anywhere.
Now, was there anything else I can do for you?
Not off the top of my head. Maybe if you could possibly have that gentleman that came by and delivered the dog. Because he seemed to know a thing or two about electricity. What was his name? The one that looked like he could bench press everybody.
Oh, Marcus?
Yes, he seemed to know a thing or two about fixing things. Maybe send him over, because some of this stuff is starting to go above me, and if I could support a fellow ex-vet, I'll be there.
I will ask, but unfortunately he is outside of my purview. He has employment elsewhere. But I will pass your message along.
All right, then. Well, you two go. I'm sure you got other things to do than hang out with an old man.
I would like to just put out there for you. Next time you have a question, send me a text. Come over and ask. Get a hold of me and just ask.
How else am I supposed to set her up to talk to you more? He says, pointing at Rhonda.
Don't worry, we'll get her a social life.
I hate you both. I hope you know this. Both of you.
Do you need anything while we're here?
Nope. Reminder that your new rent is going to be due on the 3rd of each month.
Yep.
Which is in 2 weeks.
We'll get it done.
Excellent. Oh, also, make that... Not a girl. Make that kid a key of their own, because the other day I came by and they were waiting outside for Marsol to get back. I had to let them in because they got home early.
My apologies. That was an oversight on our side. I'll make sure that Corey's got a key.
Good. I got them a bike lock too, because this area isn't the best, and they had a bicycle they had over by the side of the road, so.
Appreciate it. Well, if that's all then, Rhonda, Candy, let's go back and have a chat, shall we?
They nod. As they walk back, Rhonda closes the door before looking at you and says, I don't think Corey had a bicycle.
Worth looking into?
Maybe. I don't think it's any of our business, but... As you open the front door, you see that Corey is currently... has put away all of the books, and has brought out the camera that you gave them, your model, your older model, and is currently tinkering away at it. Looks like they're fixing some settings, doing some cleaning. Marsol is reading a book, one of the few possessions that she had with her, but you see, although you recognize the book to be, you think, maybe Phantom of the Opera because of the picture, it's written in German. And she's casually reading it at the table with Corey as she's softly tinkering.
And Echo will shut the door, make sure there's a sound there so people know they're back.
How'd it go?
Better than I expected. As a matter of fact, we're going to be expanding.
Corey looks around. How? There's nowhere to expand.
Well, first, Marisol, I have a question for you.
Marisol picks up the bookmark that she had, places it in the pages, and closes it, looks over. See?
How would you be with helping out around the apartment building? Managing things from an administrative perspective.
I thought you were already having me do that.
Not for the apartment. Turns out Frank needs a little bit of help with the tech side of things. Rhonda here is going to be building management. Is actually going to be drawing up a new lease for us. For expanded
I suppose.
Apartments.
I suppose if it assists you, I can be of service.
We get a discount on rent for a second unit.
Corey just says, nice!
It'll help take some of the strain off of Frank. It'll help Rhonda out here, because Rhonda's eventually going to be inheriting the building, and we get more space. We'll be on the second floor, but it's a start.
If it means more space, I won't say no to it. We are kind of
Cramped?
on each other's toes, as it were.
Yeah, cramped. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that 100%. And then you'll collaborate with Frank and Rhonda to see what they need. In the meantime, Corey, you're going to be getting a key of your own.
Yay!
My apologies for that. You'll all have keys to both. You'll all have keys to both apartments, with the exception of Candy.
Okay.
And the apartments, from all intents and purposes, are come and go as you please. If you need something from one, consider them both part of the same property. Make sense? Cool.
They both nod.
Next, I need to figure out investments. I need to get in touch with somebody who knows how to invest. That's going to be a whole fucking issue, but it is what it is. I have one more meeting, I think, this evening.
Corey looks over. With who?
Somebody that owes me a favor. I saved somebody's bacon in a really tight spot. I get the feeling they're not exactly impressed with it.
Shouldn't they be, though?
They didn't know I was doing them the favor.
Oh.
You done your homework?
Yep.
How long till you gotta be in bed?
It's Friday.
Even better. Look over at Marisol. What do you say to giving the wee one here a night out?
She looks at you with a raised brow. So long as they're back before sunrise.
Always. I'm not so far removed that I've lost touch with that, you know.
Apologies. Last one I belonged to was.
Yeah, I'm not. You're gonna have to get used to a few things. Apparently, somebody actually giving a shit is one of them. right. Well, in that case...
Speaks up.
Sorry, go ahead.
Corey... Rhonda speaks up. Corey, I got a quick question for you. Corey, who has slowly been putting the camera pieces back together and putting them in her backpack, looks up. What's up? You have a bike? I have a bike that I use, yes.
Dare I ask how you acquired said bike?
I found it.
Was it locked up when you found it?
No. Not that dumb.
Was it liberated from a former owner?
I don't know if it had a former owner. All I know is I found a bike that had no one around in the middle of the night.
We'll have to talk about that. For the moment, go get yourself cleaned up.
Okay.
Go put on a, fresh set of clothing. And we're gonna go hit the town tonight. I got a place I'm gonna take you.
He actually smiles brightly, runs off, and picks up their backpack that has, well, not a backpack, one of the bags that has like what few clothing items she has, and runs to the bathroom to get freshened up. Marisol lets out a small sigh and gently pinches the bridge of her nose as she says softly, she has some resource scarcity issues.
They're afraid everything's gonna collapse.
Yes. That was one of the reasons they were bounced around in the care system. They would scrounge food, random trinkets. So they're working on it.
The only thing that's going to fix that is time, and at some point we'll probably end up having to get them a psychologist, or a therapist, but it is what it is. For the moment, Echo looks over at Candy. How much do you have in reserve?
She tilts her head slightly. In my personal account, the joint account, or the savings?
All three. All three, but give the numbers to me individually.
In my own account, that I am able to use for my own personal spendings, I have about 15,000 left, because I was just paid not too long ago for some of the side work I do. In the joint account that I share with my husband, which is mostly for day-to-day things as well as saving for vacations, there is about 8,000. And in the savings account that I own, there is roughly 20,000.
We're going to be seeing about investing some of that, seeing if we can get somebody to manage that for you and make that multiply.
Well,
so far, you've been doing decently. Congratulations. But it's only been like a day or two. Keep it up.
she nods her head. A few moments later, Corey comes out. They're actually still wearing their hand-knitted sweater, which seems to be a new comfort item for them. However, they have changed into some not quite newer jeans, but less threadbare. And they have changed from a gray beanie to a black beanie.
Oh. I suppose I should get us an Uber.
I mean, considering the fact that we saw your car, probably, and we all can't fit on my bike.
No, I know. We should probably see about getting an Uber. Echo will pull out the phone, see about ordering an Uber. Well, does anybody else want a night out?
Soul shakes their head. I am going to try and finish this, she says, gently patting the German rendition of The Phantom of the Opera.
You do that.
Rhonda looks like she wants to say yes, but rubs her eyes and says, I'm probably gonna say no this time. Maybe the two of us can go next time?
How long's it been since you had a night off, my dear? How long's it been since you had a break?
What's a break?
In other words, too long. Go get changed.
Fine. Okay, she says, and she, walks off to get changed, although she's trying to play it cool, but with your hearing, you do hear the second that the door's closed, how she very quickly scampers to the apartment next door and runs down the hallway towards her. Arrive just outside the Velvet, where you know Seraphina's place is. You walk through the door of the rather inconspicuous bar and are assaulted with the sounds and the ambiance of the Velvet Pussycat. Friday night, place is booming. So many people, so many sounds, noises, scents. Isolde is in her element as she looks up and sees you and is like, Echo, my dear! Oh my goodness, I wasn't expecting to see you tonight! I'm doing wonderful, thank you for asking. She looks over your shoulder, sees Rhonda, and her eyes land on Corey. An eyebrow raised, she looks at you. Is your friend underage?
There will be no alcohol consumed, and I'm going to talk to Seraphina about it.
No need for that. Come up here, my dear. Corey looks at you, unsure.
I'll look at Corey and I'll just kind of give a nod and, motion.
Corey walks up as Isolde crouches under the podium for a moment before standing up, holding a small droplet vial. Taking it out, you see as she takes out the droplet vial a very familiar crimson liquid in it, and she's just like, hand please. Corey still seems unsure, but slowly puts their hand out as Isolde gently squeezes the droplet, and the crimson blood lands on Corey's hand. And you see the blood is instantly absorbed into their skin as a white glowing band appears on their skin, as if a tattoo, glowing ever so slightly.
Is that one a rose?
Actually, that is a collaboration between Ro and Davrin.
That's
basically
awesome.
So long, it's much easier in this, because before we were worried about people trying to just take off the bands. This way, and she gently lifts up Corey's hand, giving it a soft kiss on the back of it. This way, you can't get it off until you leave the building.
Now, does that have to be reapplied every time you come into the building?
Nope.
And will it dissipate once the individual comes of age?
In theory, it will, yes. If it doesn't dissipate by the time you turn 18, then we will obviously have Ro or Davrin dispel it for you. It doesn't do anything bad. It's just so that we know for sure that you shouldn't be having any alcohol tonight, my dear.
And can it be seen
Corey
can it be seen outside of this place?
Oh no, once you leave the establishment, it dissipates.
Excellent. Do you have, by any chance, a private booth available for the lot of us?
She begins to leaf through and stops when she sees a small sticky note that seems to have recently been applied since she doesn't seem to recognize it. Picks it up, looks at it. Ah, you're meeting Isabella.
I figured that's who sent me that text.
Yes, she arrived shortly before opening, actually. Was somewhat surprised she ran into Charlie, because none of us were awake yet. She has gotten you all a booth. Not private, unfortunately, due to the fact that we are very busy on Fridays, but it is off to the side over there. I think she leans over. You can actually see her from here.
As always, appreciate your expediency in these sorts of matters. You're very good at what you do.
Of course, my dear. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Ah.
Go on ahead. I'll have someone come by to get your drink orders.
Thank you very much. And Echo will move on over. We'll head on over towards the booth that was pointed out. And along the way, we'll just kind of chat with Rhonda and Corey. There's a couple of rules that you need to know while you're here. And a couple of rules that you need to know while you're not here.
Okay.
First, what happens here stays here. Literally, you can't talk about this place outside. You will choke up every time. The words will escape you. You won't be able to form them. You can't even write it, the name of the place, or anybody in here, if business was discussed inside, from what I've been told. Second, any harm caused is returned basically and dealt with. There's a 3-strike system. And trust me, you don't want to go 2 and 3 times. So mind your manners. This place is extremely efficient at what it does. Third,
Hey.
I know the owner.
Anything else, or you just know the owner?
I wouldn't say she listens to me, but I do have her ear, which means I can pass her information, and sometimes I hear things around here.
Rhonda nods her head.
This is a home away from home. This is comforting, and it's an escape from the outside world. Enjoy the night. And just have fun. Okay? Do not stray from this building.
Corey is currently still looking toward... Corey's listening to you because they're nodding as they're speaking. However, they then say softly, I am trying to figure out if I am having gender envy or growing a crush right now, she says while looking at the individual who is currently sitting at the booth.
Gender is such an outdated concept, my dear. When you learn that, you're gonna be a lot more comfortable in your own skin. Whole new world's opened up to you. Explore it.
Can I come with you while you
You're both welcome to come with me. Just if you don't want to be here, like if you don't want to hang out with me, just don't leave the building, but have fun. And if anybody gives you any trouble, you come straight to me.
They nod as the 3 of you walk towards this individual. You've seen one photo of this individual before. That photo perhaps wasn't the most flattering because they had this scornful, harsh expression on their face of someone intruding on them. The individual before you, although not a polar opposite, seems much more softer. their features more relaxed as they're looking off to the stage, which has an air about it, some sort of aerial performance occurring. Their hair freshly shaven on the side. They're wearing a new leather jacket from the looks of it that engulfs them almost, with a black band around their upper arm. The most noticeable thing about them, besides the fact that you can see their bright green boxer shorts through the rips in their jeans, is a red crop t-shirt that across says "Bite Me" on it. She looks up at you. Out of all of the names you could have given, you chose fucking Emily? Emily is the name of a fucking prep, she says as she takes a sip of her drink, which seems to be some sort of blue soda type thing with a small white umbrella in it. Holy water.
Of course. Well.
Have a seat.
Rhonda and Corey. This
Isabella.
is... Yeah, Isabella. And Echo will slide into the seat.
Can you roll me a wits awareness roll?
Motherfucker.
Real quick.
Motherfucker. 1 second. It's 4. And awareness is 3. And I believe I have 1 hunger. 1 second. One hunger. That is not a D10. This is 4.
As you sit down and get comfy, you're able to notice a few more things about this individual in front of you. She has bags under her eyes. It looks like she did not get a good night or good day sleep. Slightly wary, but content, happy to be here. And when you look down at the jacket, which you know is not the same jacket as the photo you saw, you realize you recognize that jacket. You got intimately familiar with it, or at least the individual who had pinned you against a wall, who you know for a fact recently passed away.
Kieran's jacket looks good on you.
She tenses up slightly. Adjusts. It's a little big, but maybe I'll grow into it, she says as she takes another sip of her drink.
Heard through the grapevine that he went out making sure that you were able to survive.
Yeah.
Good.
A matter of opinion.
That was insensitive. Just, Kieran struck me as the type. If he liked you, that would be the way he'd want to go. I mean, fuck, he threw me into a wall.
Yeah. That sounds like something he'd fucking do. Yeah.
And was also, him and a couple of others were also responsible for my life over the last couple of nights. Introduced me to a world I was intrigued by.
So, how do I fucking word this? I haven't been myself the last little bit.
So I've heard.
So, apparently, what someone who looks exactly like me did You helped them make it so I didn't break Masquerade, which I appreciate, because knowing my fucking luck, I'm going to end up breaking it one way or another eventually.
And apparently that version of you also broke a foot, which I'm not exactly upset about.
Oh no, I don't feel fucking bad about that. Fucking reporter trying to get into my fucking business. Private property. He should just be thankful it wasn't my old man who fucking answered the door.
One sec, I've got sirens.
So, I owe you a favor.
That
I'll be honest, I don't like owing people favors, especially when I didn't mean to be owed, owing.
That depends on, I guess, how tonight goes, sort of. That was an excuse to get you here to talk to you.
Okay. What do you want to know then? I'm guessing there's a reason you want to talk to me.
Yeah. Some inconsistencies about you, honey. Somebody's picked up on them.
How so?
That reporter was trying to find information about you. In the process, I found out that you apparently were around in the 80s, as you currently are, and are now here, not having seemingly aged a day. I cock-blocked the asshole, and he shouldn't be too much more of a problem. Turns out he's actually an ex-coworker of mine. And I'm none too fussy about him either.
Okay.
I also have an in with his boss. I'm curious about you.
About me?
You are an enigma, and I figured I'd go straight to the source.
All right. What do you want to know?
How are you 40 years old? Over 40
I'm
years
not.
old. Sorry, over 40 years old. You haven't been around for quite some time. Seraphina seems seems highly protective of you for some reason.
Yeah, she would be.
So what's your story? I'm not going to print it. I'm not going to talk to anyone about it, but I want to know what your story is because you're intriguing.
What do you know about the Riverside Healing Center?
Not much. Before my time.
I went there for treatment. In 1980. Well, no. 81, I think. Some mysterious illness. I didn't get better, but I didn't get worse either. And that was due to some sort of supernatural magic bullshit. But I was killed. And then I came back as a fucking ghost. And I haunted that place for 40 fucking years. Did my best to keep it in line. Saw a few people come and go. Couldn't save them either. Eventually, another group of kindred, not unlike yourself, came, freed me. Things were on the mend, and then somehow I get brought back to life from... She pauses for a long moment before sighing, bringing out a notebook that you see on it says, Little Book of Big Questions, as she flips it over. Some magic man brought me back to life using some sort of weird magic ritual bullshit. Closes the notebook, puts it back into her pocket. So technically speaking, I guess this body is only like, I don't know, a month or two old now? Because I don't have the track marks from that I had previously.
Okay. You just see Echo's eye kind of just raise a little bit.
Junkie.
I got that, thanks. So, Jeremy was looking into you.
So I heard. Something about wanting to sue me, apparently.
Yeah, for breaking his foot.
Yeah, well, he shouldn't have come on my property.
He was under the impression it was abandoned. At which point I pulled a fast one. We made it seem... I'm assuming you're over the legal age, yes?
She raises her wrists, and you do not see the white glowing thing.
We made it seem like that wasn't the case, which can land him in a lot of legal hot water. According to him, you're Emily, you're 16, and your aunt is Serafina.
Oh, I'm sure Sister Serafina will love that.
She understood why. We live in an age where the technology that you knew is an ancient relic. Everybody's watching these days. Doesn't matter where you go or what you do, there's always somebody watching. Which means there's always a record of you now. And when you come up to
work on that.
When you come up to an enigma like yourself, it causes problems. So
that's not the only records I'm worried about, but I'll deal with those eventually. I'm guessing there's a reason you're telling me this.
I personally love a good mystery, but not everybody appreciates that. Given who Serafina said you were as a person, I assume you probably don't.
I like my issues straightforward. However, I am also a fan of... You ever read The Shining?
Not in a long time.
Yeah, apparently not many people read it. It's a shame. The Shining, Dracula, friggin' Sherlock Holmes.
Dracula and Sherlock Holmes.
I like reading mysteries. I like reading mysteries. But unfortunately, when you're a part of this, and she gestures out towards everything, everyone, I am unfortunately smack dab in the middle of one.
You're not happy about that. Understandable.
I didn't say that.
So you are happy about it?
She shrugs, looking out at the crowd, at everybody. Looks up. Looks back at you guys. I've met my family here. I met someone who I thought died 10 years ago, and it turns out he's thriving. I've met Serafina again. I've met loved ones here, and people who love me in return. She gently grips the notebook that she has. And I will do everything I can to make sure they're okay. So if that means I have to suffer through some slight discomfort and some fucking masquerade rules and shit, then I will.
The reason I'm telling you all this is because I didn't want it hanging over either of our heads. I wanted to be straightforward to the point. I wanted everything out on the table. And I also wanted to let you know that I'm not here with an agenda. I'm not here with an ulterior motive. I did it because it also would have looked bad for Serafina, because it was outside her club.
Yeah, I heard about that. I feel bad about that.
I'm willing to call this one a wash.
What do you do?
I'm a journalist.
Figures. I unfortunately can't call it a wash, because you saved me. And apparently, according to certain people, she mutters, pinching the bridge of her nose, who I, through no fault other than my own, respect greatly, and for some reason find myself listening to more often than not. A favor is a favor, so... I don't know, do you need cash? Do you need influence? I don't have a lot of influence, but... I mean, I got some resources, so...
That's an interesting proposition, actually.
Kari speaks up. Wait, how much is some? Isabella sighs, pinches the bridge of her nose. So, apparently someone who I care very deeply about made a smart investment choice in the 1980s, so I have a bit of capital.
So I'm willing to call it a wash. You don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
And how about this? How would you like to be an investor?
In?
For lack of better words, echolocation. All right.
Like echolocation?
Sort of, kind of. I'm Echo.
I am aware.
I am a journalist by trade.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to start up my own publication. And I'm trying to actually do some good in this world. Just so happens that I came into certain knowledge about certain things. I'm going to be around a very long time now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm making it my personal mission to potentially leave this world better than when I came into it. Whenever that happens. Could be tomorrow, could be 100 years from now, could be 1,000, who knows. I'm in the process of working with my landlord and his granddaughter, and Echo just kind of looks over at Rhonda. Making their building function a little better, giving us space. And I'm also looking at basing the publication out of there, putting together a well-oiled team. People who know how to get things done. Corey here acts as a photographer for me when I need. Rhonda here is going to work as a building administrator. I got somebody else to keep house. And I do have a source of funding, but it's not my preferred method. What I need is cash flow.
Okay.
And I need to learn how to make that grow. Right now, we look after basics. Roof, food, and basic necessities. Power, hot water, toiletries, that sort of thing. Making sure clothing, bedding is all kept up. And the ability to expand when needed. But I need somebody to, A, be able to provide that cash flow, and I need somebody to be able to know how to invest it so that it grows. And we can utilize that in order to further our reach.
I'll be honest, I know shit about investment. All the investment I knew was back in the 80s.
And
however, I can give you the cash flow. I don't know. I like your vibe. You seem cool. You're not a dick like the other reporter was.
I'm also a little more of a realist than he is. He's a fucking rich kid. Wanted his 15 minutes of fame. Wants his name out there without doing the work.
Mm.
I don't jive with that.
Fair.
I want to build something. Leave a mark. And eventually, I want to use that influence to change the world. Might just be the optimist in me. Might just be the... Actually, you know what? I wouldn't say I'm an optimist. Might be more fluttering of hope that I haven't had in a while.
So long as you keep trying to make the world a better place, don't be a dick. Maybe piss off that fucking prince a bit. Sure, you got an investor.
Cool. In the meantime,
Corey, who had been quiet this whole time, had been looking around, gently leans over, tugging your leather jacket. There's someone watching us from the balcony.
Echo's going to ever so slightly tilt their head and look up.
You see, it's not hard to see who Corey's referring to because he is making it not blatantly obvious, but he's not hiding it. You see a individual. He appears to be roughly close, if a bit older than Isabella. He has slick back silver hair, blood red eyes, pale skin, very grunge 80s aesthetic as he's looking down at you guys, sipping a drink in his hand as he's just leaning against the railing, watching you guys.
I'll look back at Isabella. Do you know him by any chance?
She, without even looking up, is still looking at you guys. You referring to the fucker who is trying to act all cool while leaning down, looking down on us?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I know him. He's cool. He's my dom. Corey, who was sipping some water.
Not that.
What?
Not that kind of dom, honey.
Are you sure?
Sorry.
Yeah?
Sorry. I was muted. You know the relationship between Marisol and myself?
Mm-hmm.
I would assume it's probably the same kind of relationship.
She looks. They look over at Isabella, and you just call him a fucker? Oh yeah, I call him a fucker all the time. I also call him a Russian asshole. And you get away with that? I mean, yeah. I have free will.
Not all of us are assholes.
He's watching us intently because according to him, and she like gently raises her hand to scratch and kind of flipping him the bird, and like, but you see she has like a very playful smile on her face. He thinks I can't be trusted to make decisions by myself, or that I'm going to end up doing something stupid and get beat up or kidnapped again. So.
In the meantime, Nika reaches into that inside pocket and grabs a business card and just kind of flicks it out at towards Isabella.
Bella will take it. She actually puts it into her inside coat pocket.
If you need to get a hold of me.
Okay.
Next question is, what kind of investment are we talking?
I don't know. I didn't think that far ahead. What do you need? Like I said, I have some capital.
So right now I'm looking for rent, which includes utilities, $21.50, basic necessities, probably add on another $100 a month, and I need, well, that's not including clothing, and I'm gonna need something to maybe get an actual business license of sorts so we can be all official and shit, because with that I can get business cards. I can have certain weight with that, and I don't have to work under another person's banner anymore, officially.
Mm-hmm. So you're making it sound like you want an allowance or something.
That's up to you. I can do allowance, I can do lump sum.
Would you rather a lump sum? Or would you rather an allowance? I'm fine with either. I'll just have someone smarter than me set it up.
Well, we need to figure out what we're talking lump sum. So I can start figuring out how to dish it out properly.
Okay. So, in total, month to month, it sounds like you're looking at almost like around 3,000, 3,500 and stuff per month.
Somewhere's around
Sound about right?
Somewhere's around 35 to 4,000, yeah.
Okay. So let's say it's like 4,000. Then she says, as she's like looking up. So for 12 months, that'd be 48. So round that up to 5. How's a lump sum of 50,000 sound? Rhonda speaks. I'm concerned that you're speaking of that so casually. Well, apparently my mother and figure invested in something called Apple, so...
Like the computer company?
Yeah.
Oh,
apparently.
Shit. That explains it.
Wait, Corey speaks. So wait, if you said she invested it in the 1980s, like when it first came out? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing with it. But I'm also not just gonna give you all of it because...
No, and I'm not
investing in a bunch of stuff.
Not asking for that. $50K will work.
Okay.
I can make that last. We'll figure out how to invest it, how to make it grow. In the meantime, not that big on socials yet, but I mean, I am there. Keep an eye out for the tag Echovision and know that you've got a part in that. And if we end up making it big, we'll end up paying you back in spades.
Isabella has a completely blank face when you mention tags and socials.
Don't worry about it. Just If you ever hear the name Echovision, that's who we are.
I will keep that in mind then. And should you... Listen, like I said, I'm not doing much with the money. I have my fingers in one business for sure. I'm probably going to look in a few others, but... meh. I'm just here for vibes and fun, really.
Cool.
So if I can help people, great.
So, if you're here for vibes and fun, you're an 80s punk. I got an idea. Why don't you show Corey here how to kick back and let loose?
Corey blinks. What?
Let off some steam.
I mean, in fairness, the way I let loose back in the 80s isn't ideal for this age demographic, but I can think of a few things, yeah?
Alright. I think, yeah. Was there anything else?
Nothing I can think of. Yeah, no. That's all I had, really. I got a meeting with Serafina about something or other, and apparently Ricky, she like gestures up towards him, is gonna talk with her. Apparently they're in like the same club or something. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that kind of thing.
What kind of club?
The kind I'm probably not allowed to talk about. She says, a few moments later, you feel the vibration as her phone dings.
She doesn't register at first before Corey glances at it and she picks it up, looks at it. Yeah, apparently I'm not supposed to talk about the secret club, she says, grinning. Oops.
Wow.
It dings again and she looks at it. I don't know what that means!
What?
He keeps saying I emit brat energy.
Echo just like Echo's fucking dying, like straight up.
I'm glad you find this humorous.
Anyways,
But yeah, no, they're apart. They run in similar circles and stuff, and apparently that's how they met.
Gotcha. Well, I guess with that, if that's the case, why don't we just cut loose tonight? Have some fun. It's been a while.
I don't see why not. They got some new acts happening. I do gotta have my meeting with Serafina, and I'm honestly probably gonna go to bed because I am exhausted. I ran into Kieran's ghoul. I had to tell them what happened to him. So,
Fuck.
yeah, not a fun time. But Corey, you and I, we got to get together and have some fun. How do you... She pauses, thinking over. Are they in the know?
I am slowly introducing so we can assume yes.
Great. How do you feel about ghosts? They blink. What? Great. You and I'm going to take you to my place. I'm going to introduce you to ghosts. She stands up, pauses, hands Corey the phone. Here, add your number or whatever. Corey, so confused, slowly enters it. You can see ghosts? Isabella, it's usually a matter of when I can't see ghosts, but yeah, my place, super haunted. Kind of awesome. But also, we got like 50-some were people there now, so yeah, it'll be fun. You and me. Sometime soon. Okay, gotta go. Bye, she says as she downs the rest of her holy water and walks off. Corey, blinking. So she was a thing?
Yeah.
Can you roll me
Congratulations.
another Wits awareness.
Congratulations, you made a friend. Five.
Yeah, that is definitely more than enough. You see, as Isabella's walking away, she actually takes out her notebook again, flips over to what looks to be maybe a blank page, and starts scribbling down something very fast, very furiously, as she walks towards where you know is the back room where Serafina is. And you see, just as she enters through the door, she puts the notebook back into her pocket as she enters.
Why don't you guys go cut loose for a couple of minutes? Echo says, just kind of looking over at Rhonda and Corey. Get yourself something to drink.
They both nod. They both nod their heads.
Have fun. And I will be here when you're ready to go.
Okay. So they go to the bar to get some drinks. As they're doing that, Rafe seems to be working his charm with Rhonda, who is not uncomfortable, but not used to this sort of attention. And Corey is given a little, looks like a strawberry daiquiri, once again with a white umbrella in it. As this is happening and they're chatting and having fun, your phone begins to vibrate.
I'll pull it out and take a look at it.
It's Chris. He's giving you a call.
Answer the call. Yellow.
Hey, boss. How's it going?
Not bad. Letting off some steam. How about you?
I'm good. So, I did some digging with Jeremy. So he apparently was going like full Sherlock Holmes on this girl and stuff, like checking every possible lead and stuff to make his story like as good as possible. The only thing is though, and I noticed this and I don't know why, but he didn't check one of the sources.
Which source?
So it turns out, and I only found this out because I was kind of stalking Macy's Instagram. Apparently, she went to an establishment called Bleeding Colors. It's a tattoo parlor. Apparently, she went there the night she OD'd. Or I guess the early evening. It looks like it was like around 5 o'clock. She went there to get a new tattoo done. He called them once, but didn't like follow through with anything.
You said that was Bleeding Colors?
Yeah, it's a tattoo parlor. I did a little looking into it. Apparently, she went there a couple of times for like touch-ups or to get ear piercings done and stuff. And she went there that night. It was just on her Instagram, like, I don't know, maybe like couple of hours before she went missing. So she did a post about thanking one of the artists, some person named Rowan, for doing a quick touch-up because her cat scraped her or something and the ink was off or something. I didn't get a full read on it because I kind of wanted to call you right away. And yeah, he called once, they chatted, nothing much, but I don't know, compared to the other stuff he did like full research in, it's striking me as odd.
I'll take a look into it, see what I can find.
Okay,
it's
called... I don't have any deadlines right now. I'm just currently doing some grunt work around here, which is why I was actually able to pull up the address, and it turns out they're one of those places that's open from like they pride themselves on catering to both the late afternoon and night people, so they're actually open from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Noted.
But yeah, I don't know. It's probably nothing. I mean, there was also like some things at a local bar she went to.
Next lesson. If you're getting bad vibes about something, something might be going on. If a good reporter follows their gut, their instincts. If this is
I'm not sure.
if this is a red flag for you, there's probably a reason for that.
I think it's mostly the fact that he didn't do as thorough of a job of investigating as he did with the other things. I'm not sure if maybe the owner said something to scare him off, or maybe he's not allowed on the premises, or...
Do you know if whoever was there picked up?
Yeah, actually, I remember because I was like doing some grunt work for him that day. He called, he spoke with... It was a receptionist, I think. It was like slow to reply. He spoke to him, asked some questions. He said he'd go again, and the next day he said he went, but he didn't get anything. Which, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was lying. I don't know. He seemed off.
Off how?
I didn't know better. I thought he was like drunk or high or something. I don't know.
You said he went there, but he may have been lying about it. But you say he was drunk or high. Has he shown up at work any other times like that?
No, that's why I thought it was weird. He said he was loopy because he took some cold medicine or something, but I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
You're right. Something's not adding up.
Because you know him. He doesn't drink on the job. It's one of his few redeeming qualities.
I'll look into that. Wait until you hear from me.
Okay. If you need backup, let me know. And I'll keep an eye on him. I don't know. Something's off. Don't know for sure yet, but I'll keep you posted.
Make notes for me. Keep very close eye on him. Don't let him know you're watching, but keep a very close eye on him.
Got it.
Thanks for the heads up, and Echo will hang up the phone.
Okay, you hang up the phone.
Echo will also send off a message to Rhonda, and we didn't get Corey a phone, did we?
You didn't get Corey a phone, but you do know she has an older model phone that has a pay-as-you-go plan. It's how she's been able to do certain homework assignments at night and stuff when she couldn't get into libraries.
I'll shoot off a message to Corey and Rhonda. I gotta go check something out. Stay here. Don't leave the building. And I'll let a couple of people know to keep an eye on you.
Corey sends a thumbs up emoji. Rhonda actually replies with a, "Do you need company?" Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark.
This isn't something that you should be involved in. I'm not sure where this is going to lead. Got a tip, need to check it out.
She sends a sad face emoji before saying, "Okay."
If something happened to you, I would never forgive myself, and your grandfather would never let me hear the end of it.
Rhonda sends a text. "I'll keep an eye on Corey."
Thank you. Echo will get up from the table and head towards the front door. Stop at the hostess stand. Is Marcus in?
When is he not?
Stupid question. Where is Marcus?
Let's see. If I recall correctly, I think he was in the security booth, but then he checked on a fellow kindred who apparently was eyeing a young person who was here, but it turns out that he was just her domator, so it was fine. He's protective of kids.
even if they are of age. He's still in the building, though.
Can you, you know what? I'll send him a message and pull out the phone. Marcus, can you meet me at the front door for a sec?
Do you actually send that like all caps, Marcus?
Marcus, can you meet me at the front door for a sec? Puppy dog eyes.
You hear a ding behind you.
Echo will turn
And when
around.
you look behind, you see Marcus looking at you with his phone out, eyebrow raised. You need to be more aware of your surroundings.
Not my establishment. Listen. I got a couple of people here. I'm not sure if you saw me come in with them.
I did not.
Okay. I can point them out to you. I got something I gotta go look into, something I gotta take care of. I'm leaving them here because I really can't think of a safer place for them to be at the moment. They're not to leave the building.
He glances over to where you had gestured, seeing Rhonda and Corey, his eyes instantly clocking on the faint glow of the white band.
One of them's my ghoul. The young one, however, is in school and needed someplace stable to live, which I've offered up my place for that. I'm in the process of expanding. We have resources and things taken care of. They're slowly being introduced to things. And no action is being taken on my part to do anything other than make sure they graduate high school.
Not to leave the building, you said?
Not to leave the building. And I can't think of anyone who's more suited to make sure that doesn't happen than you.
I'm honored you think so highly of me.
I'll consider it a personal favor. And Echo just kind of winks.
Very well, Mix Echo. I will keep an eye on them for you.
Thank you.
Are
Appreciate
you
it.
going to do something dangerous, though? Should I be concerned?
I'm going in... You know what? Can we go back to your security room for a sec? So we can talk?
He gestures for you to walk there.
I will lead the way, I guess, into the security office once the door is closed. I got a tip tonight, something I need to look into. Remember that problem Seraphina had with the reporter?
Ah, yes.
You remember? Are you aware of what's been happening with that Macy Valor individual?
I haven't been keeping close tabs on it, but someone I know has. They've been giving me updates here and there, but...
So, she died of a drug overdose. Supposedly, that has been confirmed at this point, and the case has been closed. However, Jeremy was looking into it and forgot to... The reporter that was outside was looking into it and forgot to check up on one of his sources, tattoo parlor she was at earlier that evening. Didn't properly vet the source. He called once. Somebody picked up. Then supposedly he went the night after to talk to the owner. And for somebody who's straight-laced and sober, he came back either drunk or high. He doesn't do that. He's been off for a day or two. So I'm going to snoop around.
Do you happen to know where this establishment is, by chance? Maybe
It's
he ran into a dealer of some sort or got jumped?
called the Bleeding Colors Tattoo Parlor. They run evening/night.
He frowns, not recognizing the name before bringing up his phone to type it in. Let's see. Wing Colors, established 10 years ago, taken over from the previous owner. Looks to be a clean establishment from what I've seen.
Yeah, but he came back from there either drunk or high or somehow off and brushed it off as him having taken cold medicine earlier that day. I got red flags. Just if you don't hear from me in a day or two, the cavalry might be needed. Just a heads up.
Echo, if I don't Mix Echo, if I don't hear from you an hour before sunrise, I'm going to be sending some of my ghouls after you.
I appreciate I appreciate the knowledge that at least somebody would give a shit if I went missing.
I can guarantee you several people would give a shit. If anything, I'd suggest you don't tell Ro about this, because if you tell Miss Ro about this, she will insist on following you.
Yeah, there's an idea. If you don't hear from me a couple hours before sunup, tell Ro.
You want me to release the little ball of sunshine and chaos?
We both know she's much more than that, and we both know that if given the opportunity, she can be hell on wheels.
Very well. If I don't hear from you a few hours before sunrise, I will send none other than Mix Ro Shellwood after you. Just be safe and don't do anything stupid.
Oh, come on. Would I do that? And then before he can answer, Echo's like out the door.
Don't be a brat, he calls at you.
Only for you.
You hear a soft chuckle as he closes the security room door.
And Echo will head off into the night.
All right. So we have two options. We can end session here and continue another day. Or we can end this session here and keep going. Because I can keep going, because I'm having fun. But how's your energy going?
How much do you have planned at the moment?
Darling, I have the whole session planned at the tattoo parlor.
I think this would be a good place to actually end this for today. Unfortunately, my energy levels are not where they should be. I want to keep going, but it also gives me something to look forward to.
Okay. Sounds good.
For whoever's left...
In that case...
Sorry, go ahead.
In that case, that's where we're going to end things.